Hey guys, day 4 of the Overwhelmed series. I love what I'm going to teach you and present to you today, and that is the how and the why. So many times when I'm in yoga, I go through the whole poses. We could be in warrior 1, warrior 2, we could doing cat cow, and the question I ask while we're standing there still and really getting into our poses and really resonating with ourselves, because as you know, yoga brings focus and clarity and really keeps you present. A lot of times when we're in our yoga poses, I'll say, now, if something doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel good, we always ask ourselves, why can't I do this? Or why is this pose not feeling well? Or why do I feel uncomfortable? Or why is the teacher even making me do this? I tell them, if you start saying why, change your mind, shift your mind to how can I make this better? How can I make this pose easier? Could it be by breathing? How come the teacher is making me do this pose? Could it be because she's making me really focus and wants me to do better in yoga? How come my leg is hurting? Instead of why is my leg hurting and why is the leg hurt every time I do this position? How can I make this leg better, and how can I do this pose so that I can move on? So sort of, yoga is really a way to make yourself feel better and stretch and really have a calmness in your life. But yoga, once you leave the mat, is when the real yoga starts, because you're doing the practice, you're doing the poses, and you're really reconnecting and getting back the calm. But once you leave the mat, how do you keep that calm and that focus and the feeling that you feel on the mat, right? So the yoga is basically more off the mat than on the mat, how you practice and how you live your daily life. So what I want you guys to think about, what things do you say that you say why? What makes you overwhelmed when you say why? Is it, why does nobody listen to me? Why am I the only one to do the dishes? Why am I the only one concerned about this? Why am I the only one who has to clean up? Why does everybody else get to go out with their friends or lead their life the way they want to, and I am just stuck here, right? So that makes us feel like a victim, and we feel like victims, and we, our faces are kind of shift down and our body structure shuts down, and when people talk to us, we snap, we're not happy, and inside we feel resentful, which causes neck ache, shoulder ache, stomach ache, and we're just tired, and we're not the person or the woman that we should be, right? So if you change it to how can I make it better, rather than, my kids are off at school and they're making new friends, and my husband is still working and he's making, his money, and why am I here just doing the same thing that I was 20 years ago? And why am I the one still doing the dishes? Why am I the one still cooking and they're all out? That's called victimization. So you're going to feel overwhelmed because you're going to feel like everything is on top of you and you're just this little thing here and everything is on top of you. So to get out of that, you need to think, how can I make new friends? How can I make myself feel better? Every how, just lift up a little bit. How can I be happy for my husband? How can I be happy for myself? How can I move forward? And then you start thinking of your goals and focusing on the how. How do I improve my situation? How do I make it so I don't feel bad because I am cleaning the house or doing the dishes? What can I do, and how can I make the situation different? How can I make it better so that I am not feeling lonely? How can I make it better so that when my kids come home, I'm happy when they come home? What do I need to do for myself? Is it self-care? Is it, taking a nap? Is it reading a book? How do I make myself a better person? Not why is it me, poor me? Why is it always me who has to do the dishes? How do I make it so everybody has to do the dishes? Maybe you say, we're all going to do the dishes together, or everybody needs to pick it up. How do I improve the situation? Maybe you're not saying, maybe you're thinking and resenting in yourself and saying, why? And instead of thinking of the how can I tell people? How can I let people know what I need, so that I am not going back into my why? So today, on the worksheet, I want you to download it, print it out, whatever you need to do, look at it on the computer, and write down all the whys that make you feel bad, all the whys that make you feel, overwhelmed, and then write down the hows. How can I make that better? And see what you can do. Like, start, working your mind, making your mind work. Like, why do I have to be the one to always, make the rules? Okay, so you can say, like, how do I make it so I'm not the one always making the rules, and I can maybe hand it off to somebody else? Or I don't have to make 100% of the rules, maybe I make 50% of the rules, whatever it is. I don't know what your situations are, but that's just an example. Like, why do I have to be the one to get the groceries every day? How can I be the one not to do the groceries every day? How can I make it so I don't feel overwhelmed? Why do I feel overwhelmed? How do I make it so I don't feel overwhelmed? So different things like that. Whatever is bothering you and resonating you and causing you to have these little stickies all over you of the whys, the stickies, like these stickies, I say they're all over your body, just stuck. And each how that you make will just release them. So try it. Let me know what you think. Love to hear feedback and questions. What is your why? Let me know. And what is your how?